Do you know how processed foods contribute to insulin resistance? Welcome back to the Victory Education Lounge, where we are on the 34th part of our series exploring this very issue. I'm your host, Maurice, and today we're scrutinizing the role of processed foods in our diets and their impact on insulin sensitivity. Processed foods, a common element in many modern diets, are often high in refined carbohydrates, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients, when consumed in excess, can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where our body's cells become less responsive to the hormone insulin. This resistance can eventually lead to more serious health issues like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. But why are processed foods so prevalent? Well, they're convenient, often cheap, and engineered to taste good. They're the quick breakfast cereal we pour in a hurry, the ready-made meals we heat up after a long day, and the snacks we mindlessly munch while watching TV. But this convenience comes at a cost, a hidden toll on our health that we often overlook. Refined carbohydrates, which are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients, can cause rapid spikes in our blood sugar levels, prompting our body to produce more insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance. Added sugars, too, present a similar problem. They not only contribute to insulin resistance but also can lead to weight gain and other health issues. Unhealthy fats, particularly trans fats and certain saturated fats found in many processed foods, can also contribute to insulin resistance and heart disease. It's crucial to understand the impact of these foods on our health. But acknowledging the problem is only the first step. We must also take action. So let's explore some strategies to reduce processed food intake and improve insulin sensitivity. We'll delve into cooking meals from scratch, meal prepping, reading food labels, gradually replacing processed snacks, shopping the perimeter of the grocery store, and more. Join us on this journey towards better health. It's a path worth taking, it's a victory worth achieving. First off, cooking meals from scratch can provide full control over ingredients and nutrition, enabling healthier choices. This strategy is a powerful tool in the fight against insulin resistance. The beauty of it is, you get to decide what goes into your meals. You can choose whole grains over refined ones, lean proteins over fatty cuts, and fresh fruits and vegetables over canned or frozen ones. You're in control. Of course, there are challenges. It requires more time and potentially some new cooking skills. But let's consider the example of Sarah. At 40, she reversed her prediabetes by cooking all her meals at home for 6 months. She kept processed foods to a minimum and saw significant improvements in her health. Just like her, you too can reap the benefits. It might be a bit of a time investment initially, but the payoff is immense. While it requires more time and skills, cooking from scratch is a powerful strategy to reduce processed food intake. Another effective strategy is meal prepping, which ensures healthy options are always available. Imagine having a fridge full of wholesome meals ready to grab and go. Sounds dreamy, right? But it does come with its own set of challenges. The key pro here is that it keeps you on track with healthy eating. You're less likely to reach for processed convenience foods when you've got a homemade meal waiting for you. The downside? It requires dedicated time for planning and preparation. Consider Mark's story. At 55, he decided to take control of his blood sugar levels. He devoted his Sundays to prepping healthy meals for the week, thus significantly reducing his reliance on processed foods. The result? Mark saw a marked improvement in his blood sugar levels. Meal prepping requires dedicated time, but it's a great way to avoid processed convenience foods. It's all about investing in your health today for a healthier tomorrow. Reading food labels can increase awareness of hidden sugars and unhealthy additives. This strategy is like arming yourself with a secret decoder ring to unveil the true nature of what's in your food. However, it's not without its challenges. On the pro side, reading food labels can expose the sneaky sugars and unhealthy additives lurking in your diet. It's like shining a flashlight on the monsters under your bed. Once you see them, you can deal with them. The con side? It can be time-consuming and confusing at first. It's like learning a new language with terms like partially hydrogenated oils and high fructose corn syrup. But like any language, once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature. Let's consider Lisa's story. She's 38 and significantly reduced her processed food intake after learning to properly read and understand food labels. It took some time, patience, and a bit of detective work, but Lisa managed to demystify her diet. Though it can be confusing at first, understanding food labels is key to reducing processed food intake. Gradually, replacing processed snacks with whole foods can make the transition more sustainable. It's a strategy that's easy to introduce and doesn't require a radical diet overhaul. Instead, it's about making small, manageable swaps in your daily snacking routine. Let's discuss the advantages. This approach allows you to slowly adjust your palate and eating habits without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. For instance, you might start by replacing a packet of chips with a handful of almonds, or swapping a store-bought granola bar with a piece of fresh fruit. Over time, these small changes can add up to significant improvements in your diet and insulin sensitivity. However, there are a few drawbacks to consider. This strategy may take longer to yield noticeable health improvements compared to more drastic changes, and it also requires a commitment to consistently make healthier choices, even when processed snacks might be more convenient or appealing. Now, let's look at an example. Meet Tom, a 50-year-old who improved his insulin sensitivity by gradually replacing his daily snacks. Instead of reaching for his usual bag of chips, he began snacking on nuts and fresh fruits. It took him 3 months to fully make the switch, but the payoff was worth it. Tom's blood sugar levels stabilized and he even lost a few pounds. So remember, while this strategy may take longer to see improvements, it's often more sustainable. Small changes can lead to big victories in your health journey. Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store focuses on whole, unprocessed foods. This strategy is quite simple, yet it has a profound impact on the quality of your diet. The outer edges of the store are where you'll typically find fresh produce, meat, poultry, fish, dairy, and other whole foods. By concentrating your shopping in these areas, you're more likely to fill your cart with nutrient-dense, unprocessed foods that support insulin sensitivity. Now let's consider the pros and cons. The primary advantage here is that it encourages a focus on whole foods, which are not only more nutritious but also less likely to contribute to insulin resistance. It's a straightforward approach that doesn't require any special cooking skills or a lot of planning. However, there's a potential downside as well. Initially, this strategy may limit the variety in your food choices. It might feel restrictive if you're used to eating a lot of processed foods. You might miss certain items that are typically found in the inner aisles, like some grains, oils, and spices. But don't worry. With time and a bit of creativity, you can learn to prepare diverse and delicious meals using primarily whole ingredients. Let's take Emily as an example. She's 45, and by shopping the perimeter of her grocery store, she lost weight and improved her metabolic health. While it may limit variety initially, this strategy can significantly improve diet quality over time. As we've seen, there are many strategies to reduce processed food intake and improve insulin sensitivity. Cooking meals from scratch, like Sarah did, gives you control over what goes into your food. It might take a bit more time, but the benefits to your health are more than worth it. Meal prepping, as Mark discovered, ensures that you always have a healthy option on hand. Yes, it requires some planning, but it's a great way to reduce your reliance on processed convenience foods. Reading food labels, like Lisa, increases your awareness of hidden sugars and unhealthy additives. It might seem daunting at first, but with time it becomes second nature. Gradually replacing processed snacks with whole foods, as Tom did, makes the transition more sustainable. It might take a bit longer to see the results, but remember, slow and steady wins the race. Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store, like Emily, focuses your diet on whole, unprocessed foods. It might limit your variety initially, but it's a simple and effective strategy for a healthier diet. Growing a home garden, as David found, not only provides fresh, unprocessed produce, but also promotes physical activity. It requires some initial investment, but the rewards are bountiful. Joining a community-supported agriculture program like Maria did provides regular access to fresh local produce. It might include unfamiliar vegetables, but it's a great way to expand your vegetable intake and reduce processed food consumption. Learning to make healthier versions of your favorite processed foods, like John, satisfies cravings while reducing harmful ingredients. It might require some new cooking skills, but it's a fun and creative way to improve your metabolic health. Lastly, practicing mindful eating increases your awareness of food choices and eating habits. It requires consistent practice, but it's a powerful tool to make more conscious decisions about your food. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. As we wrap up, I want to remind you that the information provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Any health-related decisions should be discussed with a licensed physician. Your health is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. Thank you for joining us in the Victory Education Lounge. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends and family who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more informative content. Until next time, I am wishing you health and vitality in your journey to understand and optimize your body's incredible systems.